All right, update to Walton to the USD. Price feed is through Binance. So here I'll just go right to the correction, otherwise the video just gets too long. So pattern first, I'll be looking to see if there's any validation to a potential triangle. If this is correct, then what we can see something like in this effect would be called a bull wick, a bullish wick. And if that is one way for the price to get rid of the last remnants of would-be sellers, the weak hands, it certainly works. What happens is that when price pierces a known support, the weak hands freak out and they panic sell, thinking that this is going to go to zero. So it temporarily pierces the support and comes right back inside. Now we can also redraw this and say we have two potential bull wicks. So you can notice here price was just skydiving, came right back inside in a very three-wave fashion, three-wave down. This triangle could be labeled as an ABCDE, A, B, C, D, and E. So what does that mean? It's potential to have it almost complete. So here you can count it. There are more than one ways to count idiot waves. There's no denying about that. There is also a certain degree of subjectivity. It's an art. Everyone's interpretation is going to be variant to a certain degree. That's why how one person appreciates a painting is very different from another's. They have their own lenses of perception. And everyone's perception is shaded with a slightly different hue and tint. This could be made into a little bit of a complex correction, more on the combination side. For instance, I could have this whole thing as an A, B, and a C. Let me explain. So this would be ABCA, B for an expanded flat. Notice how the top here is slightly above the top here. So A, B, and C. The C wave, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can call the C as an ABCDE combination. And usually expanded flats are indicative of not a terminal correction, but more almost on the continuation correction. That at a higher degree of trend, this ABC expanded is saying there's potentially a lot more higher highs to come. And to that, we can project the next set of breakout. Once E is complete, we can set the breakout at this degree. So that way 5 would provide 43, 43 target approximation. For this to occur, the requirement is that this pattern complete, A, B, C, D, E gets completed and confirmed. Confirmation will be where the price will breach in an impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manner. That would say that the pattern would be complete and confirmed. Those are the two stages every pattern needs to receive. If you look at the volume, decline of the volume to a trickle has been seen. Just started to pick up a little bit, and with the breakout, it should pick up more. So volume confirmation would also be required. Now, could we get a lower low? Well, your price just goes kaput. Yes. Everything and anything is possible. But there's a big difference between possibility and probability. And just because an analyst selects a specific scenario as a probable doesn't mean there's assurance. It represents his best approximation of a probable future price pathway. Technical analysis is nothing more than identifying as many possibilities, narrowing it down to a handful of probabilities, and from that, using patterns, fractals, Elliott waves, volume, indicators, identify the most probable primary pathway, while at the same time selecting first and second, maybe even third alternates. And one of those alternates could be that we get a lower low. And it's a process that tries to narrow down least likely and maximize the most likely outcomes. My method utilizes Elliott waves and chart patterns. Are there better methods out there? I'm sure there are. Go ahead and look for it. But for me, with my particular experience, I've never been on Wall Street. I don't care to be. No, thank you. I don't see that as a badge of honor. But I'm 100% self-taught since 1997. And I started out with just chart patterns and failed. Then I started out with just Elliott waves and failed. Only a little more than 15 years ago, so I started combining the two. And I've been developing my method around that. And it's the best I have right now. I have not perfected it because I'm still improving. So I hope you found this to be helpful. I do read every comment. And while I'm reading, you'll notice my mute list gets bigger and bigger by muting out all the trolls. But I do read all the comments, and the ones that I have the time to respond, I'll do the best I can.